Let's take a look at those three types of challenges and how you know which one is best for you and your business. To begin with, we split them into two categories. Nutrition users means that they have to have the version of Swimo where they are tracking their food and you can see all of that data. Nutrition is a mandatory part of the challenge. Open to everyone means that nutrition can be an optional add-on, but they don't have to do nutrition as a part of your challenge. So we're going to start here with the open to everyone version. Two types, just the fat loss or the fat loss and muscle gain, which is called our recomposition challenge. Now, something you want to think about is the type of business that you're in. Perhaps if you're in the fitness or the gym space, you want to make fat loss and muscle gain the type of challenge that you always run. For me, I come from the gym space, and it's really important for our members to be gaining muscle along with losing body fat. That was a big selling point for me in my business. In addition, I think that's a huge part of why we have InBody machines to make sure that people are doing things the right way. However, maybe you're in the medical space and you're dealing with clients that are 100, 200, 300 pounds overweight, and you really want to focus on fat loss, but you would be okay with it if somebody lost, like let's say you're doing a 6-month challenge. More of a wellness transformation as a part of your protocol. And you're going to be okay with it if they lose 5 to 10 pounds of muscle, but they lose 100 pounds of fat or something along those lines. Maybe you just want to focus on fat loss on the leaderboard, but you want to make sure they're still doing things the right way. So I think just some things to think about based on the type of business you're in, demographic of client that you're targeting. But a lot of this is really going to come down to the way in which you frame the conversation anyway. So for the fat loss, I want to be very clear that on the leaderboard, you're still going to see the amount of muscle that they gain or lose. That muscle multiplier just doesn't come into effect on the actual ranking for clients. Also, remember that on the leaderboard, your clients have the ability to choose a nickname so that their personal identifiable information can be kept hidden. Now, with nutrition in this challenge, you still get to pick if you want to make it fat loss, muscle gain, or you want to do the recomposition. But nutrition is a mandatory part of how this is done. They have to have the nutrition tracking version of Swimo to do this. Now, what that means is that as they track their macros, proteins, carbs, and fats, based on the meal plan that you assign to them, as their coach, it'll keep track of how accurately, from a percentage standpoint, they're eating their proteins, carbs, and fats. So if somebody tracks food at 90% across the board, that is good. 100% would be better versus somebody who tracks their food at 50%. Because we know as coaches that people who track their food better and eat what they're supposed to should get better results. So it takes the fat loss percentage with maybe the muscle multiplier as one score, where the fat loss percentage itself is one score, but then the nutrition tracking is another score. So if there are 10 people in your challenge, they will be ranked 1 to 10 based on the percentage of their fat loss that they lose, with that muscle multiplier added in if you choose to do that. Then the other thing they'll be ranked on is food tracking. They'll get a secondary rank based on how accurately they track their food from 1 to 10. So in that case, the very best you could do for that challenge would be first place for food tracking, first place for fat loss percentage for a total of 2 points. The worst you could do is 10th place for both for a total of 20 points. So their final ranking on the leaderboard will be their combined ranking, nutrition, and fat loss percentage. So you can decide how you want to run your challenge. For most of the businesses that we work with, the open to everyone recomposition challenge is the way that they do it. And they make nutrition optional add-on. And you can include links to sign up for your nutrition program right on the challenge registration page. So that's a quick look at the types of challenges and how you know which one is best for your business.